Could you possibly have warmed up in a better way for next weekend?
Look, it wasn't about next weekend. It was really about the Premiership for us, getting back on track. Obviously, disappointed with last week, but I think it shows from last night how well Saracens are playing at the minute. So, and when we reviewed the game from last week, we weren't a million miles from it, but we just had to get back on track, get a bit of our attacking game back on the opposition, and I thought we did that. We did that really well.
When you're playing at that sort of tempo, is there any team that you think you couldn't cope with at that level?
Yeah, well, it's quite hard to do. We play different ways for different opposition, so it completely depends on the opposition, what they give us in a sense, and we'll try and take whichever space we're given. So no, we're pleased to get the ball in the outside channels, carried really well in those areas, and say look dangerous for large parts of the game.
I know you say today wasn't about next week, but this week is coming up is a huge one for the club, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's our first week, first quarter final in top competition. So that's great for us. It's great to be in there, but we're not just turning up to have a good crack at it, to have a laugh sort of thing. It's important we knuckle down. We're capable of winning up there. We know that, and we're excited about the opportunities. And say you only have to win 3 games and you win the lot. So we're not far away.
What was the mood at half-time, Mike Alley, when Worcester pulled back a couple of tries and the result looked a bit tighter than it did at the finals?
Well, look, there was a lot of wind out there. It was a key factor. We thought it might be a 10-point wind, and to go up was pleasing. Obviously, we're disappointed to give away a couple of soft tries because we actually gave the ball up on our own line for the first one, and then got stripped of possession for the second. So we put ourselves under that pressure, which was disappointing. But it obviously, the good thing is the guys took it in the right way and they came out firing straight away. Second half, we scored very quickly. I don't know whether it was in the first minute, but that was important to get that one in because obviously a 5-point gap is not big at at this level, and especially the way Worcester have been playing. They've been playing really well and been dangerous, with ball in hand. So it was important that we addressed things quickly and got back in on top of our game.
Phil Dolman as well. Can I ask how he is?
Yeah, it's just a calf. Not sure. Obviously, we'll have to assess Monday. So, but it wasn't great. So we'll have a look at it.
He's been in great form, hasn't he, this season?
Yeah. Look, Phil's always done really well for us. He's a quality player. He gives a lot to the team. The team play better with him in the side. So he's one of those guys that talks to other guys, and especially the younger guys. He really helps out about there. So. He's important, but there's obviously it's been tough selections, in the last, especially this week with having everyone back. They're fighting for places, and there's some quality guys waiting in the wings.
And speaking of getting players back, Mitch Lees as well. What did you make of him coming on? It's great to see him back.
Well, it's just important to get him out there. He's worked incredibly hard to get back. He was an important part of our early success in the season. He gives us a balance to the pack that perhaps the other second rows sometimes don't give. So it's good to have him, good to have options. Rob will obviously pick and select on, who's performing better and which combinations work best.
Jack Noel looked impressive when he switched to fullback, didn't he? Gives him another sort of vision and way of going at it.
Yeah, the good thing with Jack, he can play, and the way we play, we don't. As wingers, we won't assign Jack to one wing. When he normally plays on the wing, he comes roaming. We like that. We give him that licence. We make sure he's aware of where he can pop up and where he can play. So actually moving him to fullback, the only changes were set piece wise. The rest of his game was as normal. And I say he looked really fresh. Coming out of the Six Nations block. He looked strong, and we've seen those England guys have looked really fresh coming out. Ironically, they're probably the guys that have had the most rest weeks because they had a couple in the Six Nations, whereas the rest of the Premiership's been going hard at it right the way through it. So that's probably one of the reasons. Plus, they're obviously on a high from a successful campaign.
And no stopping Thomas Waldron, is there?
No. He carries well for us. He's very important figurehead for us. He gives us go forward at the right times, and you can't question his desire to score tries. It's a very important asset to have. That some guys really relish that from close range, and Tom's one of that. And he has a real big drive in there, and so it gives us good options. Obviously, the back row as well. It's very balanced with Julian Salvi. Does a lot of the hard work to allow Tommy to be able to carry.
How important will the extra day off be this week for you?
I think it's a normal week for us. For a change, we've been a lot of Sundays, so to get back to Saturdays is good. It depends how hard the game is tomorrow, I guess. It's nice to have a full training week. There's things we've been working on in the week that we needed to address because we were a couple of short turnarounds, and that's pleasing to have. So we've got a bit of time this week to do a little bit of work, but we'll keep them nice and fresh and make sure they're firing on Saturday.
And having most of your group back now must be coming to the business end of the season. You couldn't have wanted it any better, could you?
Well, yeah, it's nice to have everyone back, and that's what I guess it always happens at this time of the year. So it's pleasing the form of some of the guys, and selection's pretty tough, but that's which way you want it. You don't want it to be tough because you haven't got anyone. We've got plenty that are more than capable. So we'll make sure we go through the tape and see who's playing best and see who suits the game next week the best.
Thank you.